Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Doing all right?
Yep. You?
Cool. Yep, good. I was just watching that 67-34 there to see if we were going to hold. For me, I wanted to see if we were going to get above 42 for an entry there, just because that felt like the sort of line in the sand for, where sellers needed to step in, but they did. And down we go. So let's get into the trade plan for today. Obviously a bit of a sell-off last night. Bring in the chart here. Excuse me. Alright, usual charts up here, 4 hour on the left and the 30 minute on the right today. Sold off last night, put in a nice failed breakdown, kind of at the channel support here, depending on how you've got it drawn, but that light grey line here. That was right around the 15 to 20 level, but that was triggering around midnight, so guessing most folks didn't catch that. But what we had there, we had this sort of 16 to 20 zone, which was really a level reclaim, but then we put in this local low at 15. So one of those nice situations where it gives you a bit of local structure to work around, one of the planned sort of macro levels, where we've got all this space to the left of the chart over here. So a failed breakdown of the 15 worked out quite nicely last night. But into today, we've obviously now set a new low here at 67.06. So that's the overnight low. First thing to watch out for as far as new structure goes. We do have the coming into the 20 level now. That's a potential. Always a little bit tricky now where we've had this new movement around it, new structure around it, but that can still potentially play again. How do you view those, Mayank, when you've had level play and then you've got this kind of a new bit of noise around it?
Yeah, so I think, the best quality trade for the day, I think, to watch will end up being this 6706 failed breakdown. I mean, obviously, I know we have the 699 below it, but we do have to defer now and give credence to the recent structure we have, and it's only a 5 point difference basically. So, it's not going to be enough to trim into. So if we end up flushing both, you're going to want to see both. Yeah, I think this can be one of those scenarios where you're going to want to see both reclaim to get long, just because 6706 now on its own right is a very strong, significant low, and it's the more recent structure. So
Hmm.
that's kind of my top watch for today. Essentially, we'll be watching that. Yeah, obviously, if we keep selling underneath, then we have a couple spots, but well, let's see if we're able to first hold this range from overnight, or if we have to liquidate again. Ultimately for me, and I said this yesterday in the Discord too, I am not personally a fan of doing any sort of level reclaims when the sell algo is on and we're liquidating. And so for me, that just means waiting for the failed breakdown, because, we will get one at some point. Yeah, you may have to wait a little longer. And this kind of harkens back to what we said yesterday with the trade recap about, um, you know, being okay skipping trades that may work, because you're really just trying to put the full focus on the ones that are going to be 90% in terms of success rate.
Yeah, and that's what Adam touched on in the newsletter yesterday, wasn't it? I mean, the 69 was the ATM yesterday, but he only traded it once, and made comment to that effect. Like he likes to think trades are going to be 90% chance of winning before entering, and with each subsequent kind of retry or of that same level, that percentage diminishes. So that's why he's probably a lot more pickier than most of us in the Discord. Have just highlighted the kind of the line in the sand that Bulls need to reclaim there at 67.58. That's per Adam's tweet this morning, and then even better above that would be the 69. They'll really take over control. But that seems a little ways off right now. Looks like we might be trucking straight into this 6706, so that'd be nice. But yeah, like you say, we do have the 99 beneath that. If we can sweep maybe down to 92 and recover both of these, and if you're putting the danger zone on top of the sentry figure, that's basically clearing this level. So a couple of extra points to clear those overnight lows is no big deal. To wait for that for sure. It's definitely what you want to do. And then beneath that, 41 was the standout level to me. If we really sell down here, so oops, that's the Monday RTH low at 66.41. So watch out for that one if we really start moving. 66.63 was on the trade plan as well, but again, that's going to be a level reclaim, and like Mayank, you've already said, we'll be knifing down at that point, or certainly the sell algo will be on, so that would be a level reclaim in that state, which isn't ideal. So yeah, let's see if we can get a nice failed breakdown of 6706 to start with and go from there. If we didn't on the upside, let's say we just bounce straight from here, I think that there is a little bit of a level here at 42. That's what I was looking for with this 34 low. We set this low during the London session, so that was about a 30-point low. Flushed it here. I had the danger zone drawn on that, but then that was pushing me up pretty close to 42 for a potential entry, so I wanted to see price get back above this level. Never did, and we've just failed beneath.
Yeah, I was watching this, and honestly, this is a good example actually, where just having the danger zone and monitoring that actually saves you from taking a losing trade here, because we really were never able to really poke out of it with any momentum, right? We kind of just were chopping in the danger zone, maybe tried to put an attempt for 30 seconds, a minute max out of it, but the really no momentum. And again, a good example of, being able to kind of judge the volatility state and momentum, right? Kind of the skill we've been talking about for the last couple weeks about being able to tie that into the levels. And so good example there of like, hey, you have a potentially, valid failed breakdown level, but why doesn't this one work, or why doesn't this one play out? Because we essentially didn't have, volatility very low, right? It's not much of a sell off from the highs. And then secondly, there really is no momentum or no push out of the danger zone at any point, not even really any attempt there. So that should save you from, a losing trade entry there.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. And then, as I say, that 42 above was a little bit of an issue if you wanted to get in above that. That was just about meeting the criteria of a significant low in its own right, so it was worth waiting for that to clear. We just mentioned, in the group there are people trading a number of different ways. So some are more on the aggressive side and some are more on the patient side. Each of us has got to kind of decide their own style, how you want to trade. If you wanted to take the quick flush and sort of more of a scalper's entry right here on, close to the low, that is certainly one way of doing it. It's not invalid. I think maybe in the long run, you'll end up getting trapped quite a lot of times. But nothing wrong with that. Just be aware that within the Discord, people are doing different things. People are sharing the way they're trading. We've each got to decide for ourselves how we want to do. Just don't mix things up. Don't take the scalper's entry and run the massive stop. If you're doing the more aggressive entry and it fails, get out quickly. And vice versa, if you're taking more of Adam's style of entry, being patient, then we're deferring to those structural stops for our risk. So size accordingly. Okay, any closing comments, Mayank? We got 5 minutes before the open here.
No, I mean, okay, you can continue watching the O 06, and then also the 34 is still valid to watch. Obviously we just swept it a little bit deeper, so now with a deep sweep, you want to see some sort of good acceptance on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always tricky. Like we've made what I would say now is the difference is we've made like a significantly lower low. So in that case, yeah, another bout of acceptance before pushing up. If it was just like a marginally lower low and we start rocketing up, maybe you don't need to wait for any more acceptance there. Okay, great. With that, guys, we'll catch you in the Discord. Be safe out there. And just a quick note: I won't be in tomorrow. I'm going away. So for Mayank's going to run the pre-market just in the voice channel. All right, thanks everyone. Bye for now.